Good evening. Welcome to QUT Web News.
Good evening.
Australia's top medical officers met to discuss the Ebola threat in Sydney today in a bid to stop the crisis overseas spreading to this country. Meanwhile, Queensland Health has activated an Ebola coordination centre with 18 doctors to lead the fight. Australia's strategy has been under attack with strong criticism from the opposition and the Australian Medical Association.
The meeting continued late into the afternoon, although the threat to Australia from Ebola is still considered low. Nevertheless, responses are now in place to prevent and treat Ebola cases should they occur here.
We have tertiary hospitals identified in each of the capital cities where we can isolate people when they present with Ebola.
The Queensland Government is confident that it does have the facilities and skilled doctors required in this state.
We certainly are prepared and we certainly are working off the latest recommended protocols.
The Royal Brisbane Women's Hospital is one of the centres dedicated to treat those who present with Ebola in Queensland. It has an airlocked high containment room where the air can't circulate through the building. But Rebel MP Bob Katter is still adamant that we are not properly quarantining those arriving from the African epicentre.
In Australia, we still do not have any protocol in place apart from an instruction that you will stay at home for 3 weeks. If that is a protocol, then I am a Martian astronaut.
The Australian government has so far refused to send health workers to West Africa. It isn't moving on that decision, claiming there is no capacity to evacuate and treat them if they become ill.
It's a very serious, threatening and ominous outbreak.
About 30 Australians are currently working in West Africa for organisations such as the Red Cross. Miles Holly, QUT News.
Brisbane fire crews had a lot of trouble controlling a blaze in a panel beater's workshop in Bulimba this morning. They were confronted by volatile chemicals and explosive liquids that forced the evacuation of surrounding buildings.
The fire started around 8 o'clock inside the Gemini Accident and Repair Centre in Taylor Street. It quickly took hold, sending a toxic plume of smoke hundreds of metres above the riverside suburb. Crews wearing breathing apparatus had to contend with highly inflammable chemicals inside the workshop.
The fire was quite intense, a high fuel load, lots of fuels, solvents, paints, fiberglass, etc. in a paint and panel shop.
Local workers feared the flames would spread to adjoining businesses.
Firstly, it was just the smell that alerted us. It was just a weird smell, something that's not common that we smell.
Local streets were closed off as 10 crews battled the blaze. It took 35 minutes for fireys to bring the blaze under control. At its peak, flames reach up to 4 metres into the air. The steel frame building was extensively damaged, but no one was hurt. It is thought a spark from a welder or angle grinder may have triggered the blaze. Eric Thorpe, QUT News.
Real estate agents claim Brisbane is experiencing the best property market it's had in years. In fact, inner city and southeastern suburbs have been recording prices well above market expectations.
The analysts say Brisbane's housing market is on fire. Low interest rates and a growing economy is making Brisbane hot property.
The best property market I've seen in Brisbane was in 2007. That was the top of the market in all the years I've been in real estate. I actually believe the market now, at this time, is as good as 2007, if not stronger.
People are selling, but more people are buying.
You've got interest rates at the lowest levels that we've basically ever seen them. You've got house affordability at a very, very good rate. And you've got lots of buyers that can get finance and want to move into the prestige areas.
But it's been a long journey to get here.
It was tough going, so 4 months ago it was pretty tough going. Buyers were hard to come by, so were listings.
But Mr. Taylor says people are definitely taking advantage of the extra stock available.
As can be expected, the traditional riverside suburbs, such as Hamilton and Bulimba, are performing well. But there are some unexpected suburbs, such as here in Kelvin Grove, that are bringing in prices above market expectations.
The suburbs seeing the most activity are Spring Hill, Kelvin Grove, Hawthorn, Bulimba, Balmoral and Indooroopilly. Despite the successful market, Brisbane is still lagging behind Sydney and Melbourne. But even with the market so strong, sellers in some areas are still struggling.
In some area, yes, it's like you put in a market, not long, it's go. But in some area, it's take longer.
Connie Susie Lawati says the housing market can be unpredictable and may not continue to burn as brightly as it has been. Celeste Skinner, QUT News.
Lung cancer continues to have the highest mortality rate of the disease and is one of the hardest cancers to diagnose. So Australia's Lung Cancer Foundation has called in experts from around the globe to try reverse the trend.
The three-day forum held at the Brisbane Convention Centre highlights the challenges in treating the disease that kills 22 Australians each day. New methods providing individual treatments for each patient have been encouraging. Doctors have now identified many different ways to improve outlooks.
Before there used to be very little hope because there weren't effective treatments. Now we're seeing new treatments ranging from screening, early detection to new chemotherapy and targeted therapies.
Lung cancer cells are 10 times more likely to mutate than other cancer cells, meaning each patient requires specific treatment. But that may help improve survival rates. Only 14% of sufferers now live beyond 5 years. While hope is improving for lung cancer patients with more targeted therapies, that hope still comes with more significant costs. Anita McGrath is a non-smoker but was diagnosed with a rare form of lung cancer in January. She is paying $7,500 per month on an oral treatment.
I wasn't diagnosed till August with the ALK gene, so I missed all of those trials, so that's why I have to pay for my own drugs now.
The foundation says Australian patients wait longer than comparable countries for timely and affordable access to new medications. Kane Burgess, QUT News.
Sport now, and once again Australia is preparing to do battle against New Zealand's All Blacks for Rugby's Bledisloe Cup. They clash tomorrow and both teams are stressing it will be a tough encounter.
All Blacks players were out and about greeting Brisbane supporters today. Fans anticipate an exciting game and were keen to meet their idols.
We've been in Australia for a while now, but you always support the All Blacks no matter where you are, and so it was really good, especially with the calibre of a player like Richie McCaw. Fantastic to do what he's done over 130 odd tests.
All Blacks supporters predict they will do well in tomorrow's test.
I think the Wallabies will try and put on a good performance considering what's happened with them. But the All Blacks will also want to put on a good performance for us, seeing as what's happening over in Africa.
Captain Richie McCaw says the team is confident but ready for a difficult match against the Wallabies.
The boys are pretty keen to put that right tomorrow, but it's going to be a tough old match, I'd suggest, because the Wallabies are in the same sort of boat, I guess.
The controversy surrounding the Wallabies involving the coach and one of its star players, Kurtley Beale, hasn't affected their team spirit or readiness to play.
With distractions going on, I've been very impressed with how the guys have actually reacted this week.
Others even think it can be used to their advantage.
They will probably use all of the drama from this week to mould together as a unit, and don't be surprised if they come out and give the All Blacks a mighty shock tomorrow night.
When Adam Ashley Cooper steps out here in the Suncorp Stadium field tomorrow night, he will become just the 6th player in Australian history to reach the 100 test milestone.
It is bound to be a tough match for both teams. Jordan Cannon, QUT News.
The weekend is, as the saying goes, just a stone's throw away. And Harriet Harvey has been looking at what's on for those who want to get out and about.
The best of local and regional produce is on display at the Good Food and Wine Show all weekend. Some of Australia's most celebrated chefs will be holding masterclasses, and visitors are encouraged to sample tasty treats from across the state. The show is open from Friday until the end of the weekend. Gear up in your green and gold. The Wallabies are in town once again. Saturday night sees them in the 3rd and final Bledisloe Cup match against the All Blacks. Get on down to the game at Suncorp Stadium to cheer them on to victory. Damage from the Sydney storms is a vital reminder of the upcoming storm season. 612 ABC is holding an emergency ready day on Sunday with special appearances from Fireman Sam and much loved Blazer the Koala. With plenty of interactive demonstrations, it's sure to entertain us as well as inform. We have all information on pricing and how to contact organisers up on our website. Good evening. It looks like the run of brilliant weather may be over for the River City, with some showers forecast for the weekend. The day began with clear skies, and that didn't change as the temperature soared to a pleasant 29 by late morning. It was cooler on the coasts. Coolangatta reached just 25 degrees. Winds kept the temperature down on the Sunshine Coast as well, but the west got to 29 degrees. The national forecast for tomorrow, and Sydney clouds will linger through the weekend, with a top of 22 on Saturday. Canberra residents can expect a sunny day and a comfortable 21 degrees. It will be warmer in Melbourne, mostly sunny in Adelaide and Hobart. Storms are on the cards for Perth and 23. Back to the home state now, and much of Queensland will be cloudy, and a shower is forecast for Cairns. The Bureau says temperatures will be cooler further down the coast, with Mackay in the high 20s. Mount Isa and Longreach will have plenty of sun. And now, Brisbane's outlook for the weekend. Possible shower tomorrow morning, clearing to reach 24. 25 and partly cloudy on Sunday. And a bright start to next week with 28 on Monday. That's the weather for tonight.
And that's all the news we have for now.
We'll be back next year with more QUT news. Goodbye.
Goodbye.